Welcome to Geneva in Switzerland. Now the busiest route from this airport is to London, which is exactly where I'll be flying today. And for the trip I'll be taking the national airline of Switzerland, Swiss. For this flight I'll be on board the Airbus A220 aircraft, which is one of the most modern and efficient regional jets in the world. So why not come with me and see what it's like? Welcome to Blake Edgington Airborne. Let's get going. So a bit of a rush through Geneva Airport today due to the late arrival of my previous flight. Overall impressions of the terminal, you can tell it's a little bit older than many. There's a few quirks about it, but it's not a bad place to be. Very warm though in here today. Anyway, let's head over to the B gates for our flight. far enjoying the flight immensely. The seat is very impressive. Let's take a look and see what you could expect if you flew with Swiss on the A220. Not only is this seat comfortable, but I think you'll agree it's beautifully designed with this chrome detailing across the top of the seat and also a very useful coat hook on the left hand side. The literature pocket is rammed full of items, including this slightly out of date now safety card that hasn't yet been updated. You've got information in here for the food and drink menus, your standard in-flight magazine, as well as 2 shopping leaflets and even more literature to read at the back. It was chocked full of items today, which meant there wasn't a great deal of space to put your own personal belongings. You'll also see at the bottom that there is a lot of space here for any items you did pop in there to drop out, so bear that in mind. Now on the tray table, one feature I really liked is where the support for it was, right in the centre of the tray table, meaning there's space for your knees. On some aircraft, of course, when you do have the tray table down, it can make life very uncomfortable. You have a decent sized surface here, and of course 2 cup holders, much like on board my KLM flight that I took recently, and of course it can be brought nearer to you should you need it. Now, although there's not much storage at the top of the seat, there are 2 small pouches that could perhaps fit a mobile telephone in there, just towards where your legs are at the bottom of the seat. Speaking of your legs, the legroom itself wasn't that impressive, unfortunately. As much as I love the comfort of the seat, it was a little bit cramped in my opinion. There was a decent amount of foot space though at the bottom to stretch out. Here you can see all of the literature from the seat back pocket on the Swiss A220. In my opinion, it's just a little bit much. As I booked a classic fare for today's flight, I was lucky enough to receive a free snack and drink on board. Do bear in mind, if you book a light fare with Swiss, there's no complimentary items, but you can purchase on the in-flight menu. As a subsidiary of Lufthansa Group, Swiss of course are members of the Star Alliance. This means when you fly Swiss, you can earn miles and points to use on 28 airlines around the world. Another reason to fly Swiss, complimentary chocolates handed out before landing.
We very much hope you enjoyed the flight with us today, and thank you very much for choosing Swiss, and have a wonderful stay in London or a good and safe onward journey.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to London Heathrow Airport.
So here we are in London Heathrow Airport, just outside Terminal 2 after that flight with Swiss on the Airbus A220 or Bombardier C-Series, whichever you prefer. Thought I'd share with you my final thoughts on the experience today, starting off in Geneva Airport. And sadly, I wasn't really a fan. I found it quite dark in places, maybe even oppressive in some areas. There's some narrow corridors where many of the shops were, and it just didn't have that nice modern and bright feel to it that many airports do. Also, a word of warning, if you are travelling from the B gates, bear in mind there's not a great deal over there, so try to spend as much time as you can in the main airport concourse itself of Terminal 1. On board the aircraft then, the Airbus A220, I'm a big fan. I really enjoyed my time on board this aircraft. It has nice big windows, and the cabin finish that Swiss had on board the aircraft was really smart in my opinion, some really nice touches to it. That being said, there were a couple of areas that I think weren't the best, and that's in the seat area itself. The legroom could certainly be improved upon in my opinion. It was pretty tight. And then also you do have the fact that there's not a great deal of space to store your personal items, because the literature pocket is pretty full when you get on board with Swiss's own items. Of course, I did have a nice snack and a drink of water on board today's flight. Bear in mind, if you are travelling Swiss on a light fare, you may not have the opportunity to have this. It's not included in your fare. What you do get though is a lovely chocolate at the end of the flight. Thank you so much for sticking around. I do hope you've enjoyed the trip report today. Please leave me some feedback in the comments, good or bad, I do read it. And of course, please do hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed to this channel already. Only with your support can this channel continue to grow and provide you with more content in the future. Most of all, take care.